Interesting conversation, but this is still the pulse here. Although great efforts have been made in increasing awareness and acceptance of autism, autistic people still face discrimination and are most often misunderstood. The Head of State Awards Scheme, an initiative which is changing the narrative and ensuring that children on the autism spectrum are not hidden but given a voice. There's more in the following report.
The Head of State Awards Scheme, an initiative instituted to equip, empower and transform the lives of young people as an extension of its mandate and program, set up the Life and Legacy program with the aim of offering and supporting individuals suffering with autism with the required skill sets to sustain themselves in the ever-changing world. Speaking at the awards ceremony, British High Commissioner to Ghana, Harriet Thompson, highlighted the Commission's support in pivoting the improvement of autistic growth in the country.
I'm glad that the organisers of this award ceremony, HOSA, is leading the way in this with their programmes and initiatives which are centred around investing in people, building capacity, deepening expertise and rewarding and celebrating success, which is what we are here to do this evening. For an award on the legacy of the late Prince Philip, I thought it would be essential for me to highlight a few of the values that the late Prince Philip stood for that are reflected in his life and service. A strong work ethic, leadership, duty, sacrifice and loyalty. These values are pivotal to anybody's growth. And here at the High Commission, we aim every day to live out these values in our daily work, in the policies, in the projects that we partner with here in Ghana and around the world. The UK is focused in Ghana on supporting quality teaching. The child may be the future, but the teacher is the key to unlocking that future. So, for example, through our TTEL programme, for instance, we've supported all public colleges of education in Ghana to improve how they train teachers. Over 15,000 new teachers a year ago are going into schools with more practice and better skills to teach inclusively at the right level and in the right subject. When you climb a good tree, it's when you climb a good tree that we push you. Please, someone connect my pronunciation later on. And for us here at the British High Commission, we're committed to continue to supporting you on this journey. I'd encourage all of you to pay it forward. Share what you've learned, share your experiences on the programme with the people around you, with the people that you get to interact with this evening. Encourage the next cohort of young leaders to take part in this programme in the years to come.
Mustafa Yusuf, Minister of Youth and Sports, commended the organisation for taking such an initiative to help children with autism. He assured of the government's continued support in aiding autistic children.
Differently able captures the essence of our collective journey. It reminds us that each individual, regardless of their circumstances, possesses unique abilities and potential awaiting to be unveiled. The resonance of this theme is not just a reminder, but a powerful declaration that champions the cause of inclusivity and recognizes the boundless reservoir of talents within every young one. As the Minister for Youth and Sports, I embrace the opportunity to stand alongside those who passionately champion youth development. It's a privilege to witness the transformative impact of initiatives that cultivate empowerment and equip our young generation with the tools that they need to flourish. Let us remember that our support, encouragement, and belief in the potential of our youth can ignite a mind of change that radiates far beyond these walls.
All right, now let's have a very beautiful conversation that borders on you and I. And have you or a friend, family or colleague at work experienced what depression is? Well, it is prevalent in Ghana. A report by the World Health Organization study on global aging and adult health data reported depression prevalence to be between 6.7 and 13.6% in Ghana's population. The situation could be worse, and depression and anxiety affect us in many ways. We have someone with expertise in this area and seeking to help address the problem in their own little way. Joining us now is Raven Cross, a psychiatric nurse. She's also the founder of the non-profit organization Ubuntu Mind. Raven, great to have you here.
Yes,
and I love the name Ubuntu.
Thank you.
Because you are, because I am, yeah?
Exactly.
And I am
exactly.
because you are.
Exactly.
That's the mindset Ubuntu.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is.
So walk us through this whole depression, because a lot of us don't even if I have it, I don't even know.
Right, right.
So let's understand, what are these, what would I see for me to say, this is depression?
I can't sum it up in this little bit of time, but I can tell you this. It's more than a seeing, it's more of a feeling of embodiment. So depression comes in different ways, different forms. I'm eating too much, I'm eating too little. I'm sleeping too much, I'm not sleeping enough. I can't connect to my family, I'm connecting too much with my friends, or vice versa, right? There's a huge spectrum. And so with that being said, we want to destigmatize what it looks like and focus on what it feels like.
So if I'm doing something more than my usual,
Yes,
if I'm doing something less than my usual,
yes.
that's a depression?
Not so quite clean cut, right?
Okay.
Again, let's use the word spectrum. If you, let's say, you are noticing that you are going days and days without sleeping, right? And you are going days and days without connecting to your family. And these days have turned into weeks. And these weeks have turned to you feeling down and you can't even concentrate on your way to work, right? It's impacting the way you even function. Then yes, you may have depression.
Okay.
Or you may have anxiety. It's a tricky scale.
How do we get there?
How do we get there? Again, these answers are so spectrum wide because we are multidimensional beings. And so just how you could not sum up who you are in one sentence, I cannot do the same in this diagnosis.
Okay.
So how do you get there is anything. A lot of us are carrying trauma that have been passed down from our mothers, from our parents. A lot of us have trauma that has been given to us through the forms of our history. So we have got there through a place of lacking maybe understanding of how to take care of ourselves, how to read your body, understand I'm not right. We've been taught to be silent about things that we should be loud
Open about. Okay.
Exactly. I better ask you right now, how are you? You're going to say, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm fine.
Maybe I'm not fine.
No.
Money matter is the one I cannot tell you.
Exactly.
But I say, oh, I'm fine.
Exactly. So
Are these part of the reasons? Not being open about the issues.
exactly. That's where Ubuntu minds come in.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are the impacts then? I mean, once I'm not able to come out, I'm depressed, but I'm not able to come out. How does it impact society, for example?
It impacts society in a great way because now you have a culture and a community of people who are shut down. They're not present. I don't know how to show up for you so you can show up for your family because you have not communicated with me. And so now we have created this whole existence of just existing instead of living. So I hope that makes sense.
Is it not because we say, well, I don't have to poke my nose into your issues that much, and that's why everybody is reserved in a way?
I think, again, about taking away the stigma, right? And not so much you're poking your nose into my business, but you genuinely care for me. If I had a cold and a cough right now, would you say, how's that cold? How's that cough? Let me take you to the doctor. It's the same thing.
So what is Ubuntu Minds doing to deal with the issue?
I'm glad you asked. So Ubuntu Minds is dealing with the situation by partnering with Nisa Place organization here in Ghana, specifically Accra, and that is an organization that helps to bring unity to the community, to allow resources that we can have counselors, coaches, people who are well versed in how to approach and heal anxiety, depression, and post-trauma.
So I mean, in Ghana, what is it that you're doing?
In Ghana right now, I'm feet on the ground because this is actually Ubuntu's third visit to Ghana. Yes,
okay.
Because we do not want to come into a space and tell you how to heal.
Okay.
That's none of my business. I want you to tell me how it can help you heal.
Okay.
Right? So this is why we are here. We are here getting feedback from different organizations saying, what are you seeing in the community? We've seen and heard a lot of anxiety. We've seen and heard a lot of depression. But this is what it takes, feet on the ground.
not sitting behind a computer and saying, this is what you should do for Ghana. So this is why we're here.
So it's more of trying to understand the issues
Yes.
to determine what sort of solution
Exactly.
needs to be applied.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so far, what have you found?
We have found that when you break it down and take away the my nose is in your business and genuinely ask the question, how are you today? How can I help you today? What has been plaguing you for some time? We are finding that people are really, really wrestling with a decreased sleep because they are trying to worry about how their children are going to eat. They don't have time to sleep. Their minds are constantly going. We're finding out that there's an underlying anxiety because guess what? Prices of things are increasing and I have to keep it moving. Right?
Oh.
I have no time to take care of myself and sit with my feelings and go and be quiet. And so this is what we're learning, that anxiety and depression are rearing its head just from life stressors.
Money matters. Huh?
And only, not even just money, I will say this is also, a lot of us haven't been taught to take care of ourselves.
Okay.
We don't know how to soothe and how to decompress and how to say, yes, I am depressed and this is how I want to deal with it.
So it's a problem of how the society has been designed,
Yes,
because we're not trained in way to come out.
yes.
How do we break that then?
You break that down with resources. I want to break out some numbers real quick. So currently, I was looking up, and the World Health Organization states that there are about 2.3 million people in Ghana who may be suffering from anxiety, depression, or PTSD, which is post-stress traumatic syndrome. Anyway, so with that being said, to that 2.3 million, there are only 2% who have help, who get resources. There are approximately 39 psychiatric professionals in the country of Ghana. So
To deal with the over 2 million people.
yes,
Did it tell you why it is so? I mean, why we have only 39?
lacking resources. Mental health is very new kind of a thing, right? Back in the day, you probably were gone mad, and people are like, oh, don't worry about that person. They're just mad. But now people are being honest, and they're being open. And now there is a need for help. There's a need for ushering in assistance. There's a need for unity.
Okay.
And this is why I am because you are. You
Yeah.
can't do anything alone.
You can do it.
Exactly.
So I guess one of the solutions then is to look at how we can increase the number of psychiatric specialists in the country.
Yes.
Is that something you're considering?
Yes, very much so. This is one of the major goals of Ubuntu Minds, is to bring more and more resources. And in the very near future, we would like to even teach people how to counsel and how to show up for family members who may be suffering from anxiety or depression.
Yeah, I'd love to stay with you here and have a lot of chat on this, because this is quite, I mean, this is relatable.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of people going through it.
Yes.
And especially the take on the fact that society is built in a way that children cannot open. It is not even children.
Right.
Adults cannot open up on our issues.
Right.
Because they feel that when they open up to you, you go and tell another person that you see, this guy is going through this issue.
Exactly.
And that's why they're not able to, open up.
Exactly.
So how do we even cure that? That when I tell you my issue, you're going to tell another person, probably I don't want the person to hear, but you will. So how do we cure that? How do we get to change society in such a way that I can trust that when I tell you that this is my issue, I
Right.
believe that
Right.
it will stay within us.
Right. We have to give ourselves grace. And what that looks like, even if you know my business, do I care? Because I have much grace for myself and I have much grace for you as someone who probably needed to say whatever you need to say. Also, we need to allow safe spaces for people to just be. And I think that's important. We need to allow more and more spaces for people to just be. And you will be surprised. A lot of people will actually just be. They'll be so consumed with healing themselves that they will probably forget what you have told them. So.
All right, then.
All right.
Great to have had you here.
Nice.
I hope that anytime you come to Ghana, pass by and let's have this conversation.
I will. Thank you.
Right, okay, grateful. Thanks for coming through. So this is, the conversation we've had about depression and what it means to all of us in Ghana. Thanks to you, Reverend Cross. She is a psychiatric nurse and the founder of Ubuntu Minds. Well, the whole of next month has been dedicated to literacy under the code name. We have a code name for that, and it's Carnival Literacy Month. It starts from the 1st to the 29th of September 2023 in Ghana. Perby Caps is leading activities for the celebration. They are here to share with us what that means and what you can do to expect or to benefit from the launch, which is on September 1. More of that coming up next after the break.